And now to the latest on the transition efforts of the president-elect. Donald Trump is now telling the first members of his administration the opposite of his signature phrase. He's now saying, "You're hired." As he assembles his team, he's taking talent from right here in upstate New York.
Yeah, that's right. CitrusTV political anchor Luke Radel is here to tell us who's leaving upstate New York to join the Trump cabinet. Luke, good evening.
Jake and Max, good evening. President-elect Donald Trump has selected Congresswoman Elise Stefanik to be his U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Stefanik has represented New York's 21st congressional district for the past 10 years, serving folks up in the North Country not too far from here. But what is her international outlook like? Stefanik has been a staunch ally of Israel, even before the October 7th attacks. She called on the current ambassador to the UN to oppose, quote, any anti-Israel resolution that comes before the UN Security Council, end quote. So you can imagine she will do the same when she takes on the role sometime next year. Stefanik garnered national attention last year when she grilled college leaders about anti-Semitism on their campuses. She spoke in prime time at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee this summer and spoke to yours truly about her relationship with President-elect Trump. You're working as GOP conference chair in the House. You've been doing that for a couple of years now, and then you had a primetime spot tonight at the convention. What does that mean for the folks back home in your district, especially now those folks in Oneida County that have been added into your district this cycle? What does that mean for them?
Well, it's a real honor. I always work every day to give my district a seat at the highest level, and I bring my issues right to the top with President Trump. He cares deeply about the future of this country, but also of upstate New York. He knows New York very, very well. I've hosted him in my district before, and I'm excited to get to work when we elect him this November.
And Jake and Max, Stefanik is not the only New Yorker joining Trump's team. He's also tapped Lee Zeldin, the former congressman and candidate for governor, as his EPA administrator.
Hey, Luke, Stefanik has now represented the 21st for just about a decade. What happens to her seat now that it's left open?
Yeah, so first Stefanik must resign her seat. That'll happen sometime early next year, it's expected. Then Governor Kathy Hochul will have to schedule a special election between 70 and 90 days from the seat becoming vacant. Note that I reached out to soon-to-be former Congressman Brandon Williams of the 22nd District about whether he'd consider moving up to the North Country to run for that seat. His team has not yet responded. We'll keep trying, Jake.